The next stage is called that how to prepare, means what to prepare first. Yes. Based on experiences, although there are no empirical findings, but based on experiences, we can say that your focus should be, let's say, when we categorize like this, 70%, I have just done for clarity, 70%. So here we can bring, let's say that DAF plus members, and here I will say current affairs plus optional. This means, let's say that your dates are coming middle and early. Means there are suppose 1000 students, over 1000 students. Your dates are coming 500 plus, means 500 in that. The largely first half interviews are more on this side. Right. Then gradually they are going towards this side. Right. Plus they can randomly ask this. If your optional current affairs are linked to somehow this, so they can randomly ask this. Right. Why it happens ki most of your interview questions are based on this side. This, it has its own logic or basis, let's say that. So basically, let's say ki this deals with your first birthplace, then it deals with your academics, then it may, let's say that you deal with your work, if you have done any work, job, this, that we can consider. Plus it deals with your this state, the state you belong, this birthplace, plus I will include parents, this. So it is huge. Plus it deals with your hobbies and interests. This, so your hobbies and interests, let's say that this. So here, plus it deals with your extracurricular activities, including whatever you have done. This. So these things become huge in terms of, let's say, many a time, suppose ki they have opened this and only this. Though they have opened this page, right? They have just opened this page when you enter in let's say for interview, and on there you have good hobbies, let's say that. If you have some good hobbies, some innovative hobbies, unique hobbies which less people have that, obviously that the question will, if they have read, right? Many times they may not read your DAF, this, but if they have read that DAF, so the questions will come from that. This, and maybe your interview may start with this and it may end with this, with chairperson. Chairperson is the UPSC member. Other members maybe they are part of the board. And your interview with chairperson is main interview. Others will ask random questions. From where they have seen the chairman asking questions. By the time they may have seen your this, they can bring out some questions. Now let's take one by one. This how it is so challenging to prepare. So the birthplace you may belong, it can be any historical place. Right. Geographically, historically, socially, right? It is something unique. So let's say कि Madhubani in Bihar and Madhubani painting, Khajuraho, just to name a few. So then preparing Madhubani or Khajuraho itself is challenging. because you belong to that. So you are not supposed to know only about Madhubani art. You have to know about nitty-gritty details, its background, its history, right, and how it is present time, right. It takes time to prepare. Now your birthplace may be at one place. Then you have studied your, let's say, schooling, graduation, higher education at different places. And those different places are also somehow a bit historical, let's say that. This. So it takes again time to prepare them. And you have to prepare thoroughly. Try to understand. Doing mistakes this side is less tolerable. Doing mistakes on this side is quite tolerable. Why? Because let's say कि you may not remember. You can say that कि, right, sorry sir, it is not coming in my mind. ठीक है, तो होगा कि चलो there is a distance of 5-6 months of means, तो ठीक है, हो सकता है. But this life you have lived. This is how you have grown up. So this is now your personality is coming into picture. This your character is coming into picture. Your personality is coming into picture. Right. So that can be, let's say this. Then your parents may be doing any job. Uniqueness of the job. Right. So that uniqueness of the job, let's say that again, it can draw attention. This. So that is related to your family, means parents, your birthplace, your, let's say the historical places that you have, geographical places that you have. Then comes the academics. Right. Now in academics, let's say generally it can happen you may have some unique kind of academics, or general academics, you can say that's this. So you may study, let's say science, then may you have gone to economics. There are, let's say one interview, one member of UPSC, he studied physics, then he did economics from London School of Economics. Right. So your academics can have variations. Right. Now academics have variations, especially let's say you take graduation is taken as main. Graduation is taken as main. Right. Because graduation is basis for this appearance. So what you studied in graduation, that you should brush up a bit. If your this graduation and interview time gap is less. Yes.
Less in sense. How many years?
Yes, let's say. Suppose you have graduated 2 years back, that is less time. But you have graduated 5 years back, it is more time. So 5 years back, so it is difficult to remember. Right. But 2 years back, so it is expected you should have some of the things. Right. Yes. So then you are expected to be better. Right. There is no excuse then. Right. Plus, let's say in academics and graduations, you should know some fundamentals. Fundamentals of subject. Every subject has its fundamental. Right. So fundamentals of the subject you should know. And those fundamentals including application part. Right. Let's say how fundamental plus application part. Especially in present. This, if you are technical, from the technical side, so if you are from the technical side, let's say, technical side, let's say this room itself, let's say, interview environment you can say. And in this interview environment, many concepts can be applied. Right, fan, tube light, this you can say, that aspect, sitting posture you can say. This, like once it was asked, let's say, meditation you do, so meditation, so how internal body undergo changes when meditation is done. This, So the question is that it can be more practical type also. See your subject and whether it has some practical application, right, which I can think and relate to present time. Like let's say that textile, one student Mahendra Singh Tawar, he had textile as BTech, and that time a movie was made on textile, and he prepared a lot, but somehow he forgot about that movie. He could not reach to that level. Even a movie on textile issue has been made. He was asked that recently a movie has been made on this subject. Are you aware? He said no. Right. So the question is that we do not know. Let's say that you think if from textile they will ask something academic question. So it's about all thinking. Let's say how much thinking you can do, and relate your subject that the academics that you have. And if it is related to optionals, it is easy for you. The same subject is optional, so it is easy, and in fact, you have advantage. Right. This advantage you will not face this question. You are BTech, but you have taken this optional. this question you will not face. Rather, you will have advantage. You have gone by the same optional, same subject. Right. Then if you are doing jobs, job related. So if it is related to job, first job related, nature of the job, this role of the job, and let's say I will explain here. So if it is work related, the work, so job, let's say that, job nature. If it related to, let's say that, what you can say, IT sector, this you can say. So that if it is related to bank, any such sector, so you have to prepare. If it is related to bank, you have to prepare financial sector. And if it is related to IT, you have to prepare about IT sector. Right. And then you are expected to know some depth aspect of this. Now, thereafter what they will ask? Both, means either nature and its application in civil services. How your knowledge we can apply in the field of civil services. So that aspect of question you can say. Then state, let's say that the state that you belong, and it should be thoroughly prepared. The state you belong, it can be any state. Let's say it's history, it's geography, right? It's polity, society, economy. This developments. So this year we have planned to, you will get on portal of our interview IGP, you will get some videos, let's say, you can watch as per your suitability. We have planned to take state-wise history and culture, right, geography, ecology, polity, economy, this. So the state you belong, if you find relevant, you can see that. It will help in preparation. This. Now let's say that in any state that you belong, let's say that suppose I belong to Uttar Pradesh. This. So when you belong to Uttar Pradesh, you know itself it is a very big state. Right? It's preparing history itself is another history. Right? Plus, let's say geography. Right? It's such a huge state, right? Then you have to prepare everything about the Eastern Uttar Pradesh, Western Uttar Pradesh, Central Uttar Pradesh. That you can say. Then it's issues related to whether it should be divided, it should not be divided. That aspect you can consider. So it's huge. Let's say geographical thing you can say. Plus in that within geographical sense it can be agriculture, let's say aspects, let's say that weather aspect you can say that. So weather, ecology, that can come, right? Then when you come at the polity, let's say that aspect, the politically, let's say why it is so politically in news or considered, let's say hot in our country, let's say it plays the political aspect, you can say the parties, etc. you can consider. Then society again, let's say the way society is, the social cultural aspects of the society. Then economy, let's say why economy, let's say it's divided, let's say eastern, western. Then the main weaknesses of the economy is investment, what are the industrial developments in Uttar Pradesh or why it is lacking, let's say. If you see the past transcripts, the state you belong, you can see the transcripts of students, the past, let's say that, and you can see that usually what they ask related this. That's why nowadays it is easy to focus on your preparation by taking help. Lots of transcripts are available. We will also give you almost over 100 questions which are generally asked. That list will give you, but again that list is not be adequate because you have to prepare each, let's say that topic wise, and then it demands, let's say its own, let's say that thing. Then present, let's say that you know that one district one product initiative that we can consider that Uttar Pradesh has, this the present government has initiated, plus many other, let's say that industrial development that can be considered. What are the new industrial developments? Airports they are planning, let's say that the airports, let's say even in Varanasi, let's say airport is being, let's say that and I think they have planned in Varanasi or which place recently I just came to know. So already there is airport, but something, let's say we can consider. Yes, sports basically, yes. In Varanasi, a national stadium is being, let's say that construments already it has been at policy level given go ahead. Land has been acquired. So this is a new development, let's say that, new type of development. So you have to know the prevailing aspects. As of now, what are the issues, social, political, economic, geographical, all. Plus you have to know history, culture, society, geography, all these things of your that state. And you should have depth in that. It will be appreciated. Right? If you have depth of understanding of your state, it will be appreciated. Why? Because you have the place you belong, you have taken interest to know it, and you carry also foresight. You carry foresight also ki how we can bring development in that state. Right? And since your posting is also in civil services going to be in a particular state, it gives also understanding that you are a serious person, let's say. Any state you are posted, that you will take interest in knowing it and solving its problems. This. So this way we can consider you should take adequate time and focus on that. Why it is also important? It is related to your birthplace also, maybe academics also. And we have referred interview members, right? Possibility is that interview members, the state you belong, he may also belong, right? So let's keep, although I will tell separately, but interview member means UPSC member, board members, board members. So since there are, let's say, 5 members, over 5 members, the 5 members have very diverse background. Like, let's say the member may belong to the same place or same, let's say, state. Right? If he does not belong to that same state, he may have served in that state. This. So I see another one member born in Patna, but he has term in Tamil Nadu. He covers 2 states. Then he has served as civil aviation department, telecom department, right? And coincidentally, suppose in civil aviation department, he may have worked on a project in a 3rd state. Right? A member may cover 2 to 3 states. Right? So when a member covers 2 to 3 states, he knows something specific about that state. And when he knows something specific about that state, and suppose you also know that, this is appreciation. This is appreciation, let's say. This is what you get an edge. That's why preparing DAF or this whatever we are saying becomes, let's say, very important than your optional and current affairs. Right? Why? See, optional and current affairs preparation will not take time. Already you know it. Right? And current affairs already you have studied a lot. So you can prepare, but there is a less possibility that they will necessarily ask that. Randomness is there, but here probability is more. Right? Probability of asking such questions, so that probability is more than asking a current affairs question. Yes. That is how you should prepare on this aspect.
Sir,
Yes.
I have been living in Delhi for the last decade or so. But my workplace is some other state. I need to prepare both of them.
Yes. Because let's say that directly or indirectly the matter will come to there. Right, your birthplace. Or even if it does not come, but you cannot ignore it. Because it is part of your DAF. This. So you may have lived there, you may have some academics over there, schooling there, your parents may be living there. The possibility is that directly, indirectly it will come. So when directly, indirectly it will come, so why we cannot ignore it? We cannot take risk, you know that. This opportunity you get after lots of struggle. So this is what we'll say, you should focus on that. Next, that key areas of interest, let's say. Interest or hobbies, let's say that. This people have hobbies or area of interest. You may have given your hobbies, right? Now let's say that since you have given, now we cannot decide what hobbies should be given. Now we have already given it, right? So hobbies ka, let's say that what we can say, technical side, application side. This, let's say someone, let's say reading books, common. Right. The technical side, I mean to say that which type of book you read. Fiction, non-fiction. This, why you read this aspect. Then what is its relevance, let's say, what do you benefit? How it benefits. This. So hobbies also you need to go in depth, and you should know in a very natural way. It's technical details. Let's say suppose meditation someone has. We need to know the history of meditation. This, when meditation started. In India, different types of meditation that we have. As of now, which type of meditation, basically anything that we have related to. Right. Then meditation and how it benefits meditation. This. So hobbies, when you are preparing, area of interest that you have, to see again, there can be similar hobbies or interest other people may have, and their transcripts you can read. So you gather information as per suiting to your personality, your personality traits, your subject, your optional, your hobbies, your state. You try to gather that type of information. This, and on that you should start preparing these kind of things, right? This is how we can say on these hobbies, etc., as extracurricular activities. I guess you may have written your hobbies. No, like
So reading English fantasy fiction novels. So reading English fantasy fiction novels.
right. Now let's say you have used the term reading English fantasy fiction novels. Basically, you have two categorization: fiction and non-fiction. Now, in fiction, you are bringing fantasy fiction. Right? They will try to know what is fantasy fiction. If there is fantasy fiction, that means there are other categorization also. That is the technical side. Then let's say this, why this, let's say, fantasy fiction? Right? Why not other, let's say that? So that way, let's say that this is how they can know. Then they can ask anything that you have read in recent times. First, any recent times that you have read. Next, any recent fantasy non-fiction fiction has come market. Yes. So these things can be considered as, let's say, the way we prepare something like. Right. Then we'll come to, let's say, interview board. The members, let's say, basically UPSC members will say that, because other members' details are not known. This UPSC member you can consider. Is it given?
Yes, sir, next.
Just I will highlight, let's say, on this, suppose he is the member. So let's take that he is academician. First is he is academician. This. Now what he has done? Political science. Then what he has specialized Indo-US relation. This. So if he is in the board and Indo-US relation he has specialized, obvious question is there he will ask Indo-US relation. Yes. Now thereafter, let's say that what he has done, you will find that further you will find this. He has worked as higher education. Yes. And another is called public administration. So he has worked in that area, let's say. And then he belongs to Gujarat. The first key, anyone is from Gujarat. Right. He is much knowledgeable about Gujarat. Right. Then you are appearing in civil services, he has done something related to public administration. Yes. And then higher education, so education can be the one area he can ask. About higher education in our country, conditions of universities, etc. This research, all these things. Right. Plus IR he has, let's say that, his own, let's say, area of interest. Yes. So that way what will happen is that you will zero in on basically what you are trying to do. By knowing all these things, you are trying to improve, means increase the probability of questions which are going to be asked. Right. What are those probable questions which may be asked when I appear? These things are trying to increase the probability. Yes. Because we are trying to work on those probability. Now let's take the second person. So I will just analyze two persons, rest you can see yourself. Now this is how I think that he is from Patna. Yes. And he has worked in, I was saying, Tamil Nadu somewhere it will be, but he has done London School of Economics. See, he has studied social planning. Right. His area is about this you can consider social planning. This next area is that economics. This, and he has joined Indian Administrative Service and in Tamil Nadu. Right. He knows about Tamil Nadu. Then he has worked in telecom sector, this civil aviation, petroleum and telecom regulatory. Very wide area. Right. Then let's say your preparation on telecom, petroleum and aviation. This. So in this way your preparation will become broad and others will be covered somehow directly, optional, current, this and that. So basically what you will do is you will prepare your, let's say, current and optional as per the increasing the probability of the questions from the DAF area and the review members. This. And in that, since he is the last to work in civil aviation, and it's very, let's say 2019 is not very far away. Right. It means that even if you may not know much about this, but civil aviation you cannot ignore. This. So this way, let's say that we can focus on this. Similarly, if you take next person, he has been appointed in 2022. Like I saw, yes, 2022. And now he has a very wide experience. Basically also from, this military side. Since he has retired, let's say that honorable this. So, sorry, he has been appointed recently and he has worked in all these things. It means that you have to work on this side, some military defense related things. Because he will be more interested in talking on defense related matters. This. So that way it, let's say, prepares. So that's why we have written others, you can see yourself, other members, let's say, what other members have specialized. This way, if you come on this interview board members, so this is what we have written. Here, like, if you cover this, it will have huge cover, let's say. And some portions of this will also be covered.